So Paul's just getting the live stream set up, and so that it's actually going from Zoom into Conscious Conversations with Your Business Facebook group, and also into YouTube. So there are 3 different places that it will be live. And Paul's just getting all that set up, and we'll just get started in one moment when he gives us the go ahead.
All good to go.
All right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world and whenever time you're listening and watching this. So today, I'm really excited about bringing a new awareness and hopefully something that will open up your possibilities in feeling comfortable and also getting out there in successful ways in your spiritual practice. And so let's get rolling here, right? I'm so happy for those of you, by the way, who are here in Zoom, who are in the Facebook group watching live, and also on YouTube watching live, and then of course the replay. We're all held in that same energetic field all the time because we really exist in a quantum field where time doesn't really exist. So anything we talk about, any energy that comes up throughout this Wellspring series, you know that you're in the middle of it, if you will, right from the get-go. So again, welcome to Wellspring. This is your source of inspiration, guidance, support, and vision for your growing spiritual business or expanding spiritual business. And I said this a couple videos ago, but I'm going to say it again here, is that, you know, a wellspring is literally an inexhaustible source of anything. We tend to think of it as water, but if you have a wellspring there, it's an endless source. So it's my desire to encourage, support, and open all of you to the wellspring of your possibilities in creating a thriving practice that you get to feel is the right size for you. A thriving practice does not need to mean, oh, I'm making $1 million a year, or I have this number of clients. It doesn't matter. You make it what is right and appropriate for you in your life. That is that right fit for your dreams. And part of the reason I'm doing this is because I have this huge passion, and it now feels like a mission really, for all light workers to support light workers in stepping up, shining, reaching out, finding their people, and abundantly thriving on all levels. And it's time for energy healers, shamans, metaphysicians, paradigm shifters, spiritual life coaches, however you identify yourself, to really stand up, feel their message. That is, you can feel it within your being, and I'm sure many of you do, and you just feel that this is what you're here to do. You may not be doing it yet, but you feel like this is why I'm here. This is the impact I'm supposed to make, and I want to support you in feeling successful in that. And so each week I'm going to be sharing a new thought, idea, energy, something you could do. It's going to be a variety of things. And so today, let's kick it off. And I'm going to start with a very familiar phrase. This is coming from me personally. I wish I knew then what I know now. You know, that's that hindsight, right? Because when I first learned energy healing and with the idea of doing it professionally, which was over 16 years ago, and I was actually starting to step out into the world with it, I was really excited to let people know what it was, how it could help them. And the truth is, I had it all wrong at that time, because I was out there telling people about this method of energy healing that I had learned. I was sharing the brand name of that type of healing, and I was sharing more about what it was, how it worked, and really esoteric background details around it, because I thought that was important. And at that time, I felt that if people knew what it was and how it was believed to work, they would say yes. It's kind of like a mechanic when you get your first car, telling you how your engine's working and the intricacies of your catalytic converter and how the oil's flowing through your engine and how the radiator's cooling it, you don't really care at that point, do you? It's just like, give me the keys, show me how to start the car, and I just want to drive the car. It's that same kind of thing. I was out there more being like the mechanic explaining how the engine works. And, you know, the truth is people don't connect with that. And what I'm also going to invite you to do right now is, as I'm talking about or telling you that what I spoke about was sort of the mechanics, the how, the esoteric aspects of it, notice where my focus is. And I'm going to share with you in just a minute where my focus was wrong then, but let me continue on. In those early years as an energy healer, it was actually really hard for me. I wasn't successful because I didn't truly understand what people really want and need in order to choose to experience what that energy healing could do for them. Telling them about the mechanics of it was not what they needed. I wasn't meeting them and connecting with them. So as you're getting a sense of in this short little thing, my approach was wrong. Now, but today, in our Wellspring message today, I want to refocus this, since I see so many energy workers, coaches, light workers do the same thing. If you can relate to this, oh my goodness, I've been out in the world talking about my modality and the mechanics of it. Raise your hand or say yes in the chat. Like, does that make sense? Like, oh, wow, this is what I've been doing. It's okay if it's what you've been doing. Lots of us do. And I've worked with spiritual practitioners for years, and that's our tendency to explain what it is and how it works without any specific application to it. So this idea is that we go out in the world and we lead with our modality. And when we do this, we're approaching the potential of growth in our practice from the point of view of putting our modality first, right? So don't notice me, just notice my modality. And so we're hidden in the bushes, and just notice my modality. Again, I want you to notice where the focus is. I'm going to come back to that in a second. How many of you can relate to that? I just put my modality out there. I don't need to be noticed. I just want my modality to be noticed. Raise your hand if you can relate to that too. A lot of us do that. So when we lead with our modality that way, what we're counting on is that the person who says yes to working with us really knows all about that healing modality most of the time, and the benefits that come from it. Like, it's a name that they already recognize. They already know about it. They might already know people who have experienced it. And what the assumption is there is that when people understand the mechanics of it, the how of it, they're going to get what it means to interact with whatever the type of work is. In my case, it was subtle energies. Sorry, just lost my mouse. And it's back. Okay. So, and again, this is great if all your clients already know what it is you do, but what if they don't? There you are explaining and sharing as if they already know on some level what it is that you do, or if the how of what you do, the mechanics, is what they need to know in order to say yes. So when you lead with your modality, your focus here, we're going to talk about the focus now. It's on your modality. It's not on the people. It's not on who you're here to help. I want you to think about that. Your successful practice will come as you focus more on the people rather than your modality. So for a successful practice, you'll want to shift your focus in two main ways: to the people who are waiting for you to support them, and on yourself. And I know that's going to sound counterintuitive. So you say, Holly, what are you talking about? On myself? That doesn't make sense. That's not what I'm here for in my business. But hang in there with me. I'm going to explain this because this is the most important part of today's Wellspring message. For a successful practice or business, whatever it is, whether you're writing a book, whether you're coaching clients, whether you're working with people in a group or one-on-one, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you want to know and understand what the issues and concerns are of those potential clients or students or readers, any kind of receiver of your work and your creativity and your genius. You want to focus on them. What are they concerned about? Get in their mind. And the truth is, we tend to create very magnetic practices. So you may be wanting to help people in an area that you maybe have worked through and got to the other side, or you're a little further down the road. We tend to do that, don't they? So start thinking, what are they concerned about? What keeps them up at night? Or what breakthroughs are they waiting for? You want to think about them first. And you don't have to know who they are. So, and then as you open up to what those things might be for them, then the truth is, you know how to better speak with them. You can connect with them at a very personal level, not the level of their modality. We're all craving personal connection. We want to be seen, right? We need that. And because we're very, interactive, interpersonal, whether or not it's on Zoom, we want that personal connection. We want to know that we're seen and understood. And then that builds some confidence. They need to know you understand their unique conditions. Now, they're going to have their own special recipe of it, but generally that you understand their conditions of their life or their situations or their dreams, their aspirations. And what's happening there is they're going to start to know and have the confidence that you can support them and support them in opening up to whatever their next level is. Next level of potential could be, I'm finally releasing these patterns from my childhood. Their next level of potential would be, I feel really confident in making that choice. I feel really now like I'm not going to consider anything else. I know that this is my pathway. Again, we all want to be seen, heard, and understood. And that's what your potential clients and ongoing clients will want. And that's how they'll have confidence in you. They want to feel your confidence. And how are you confident? You're confident in your modality, but you've connected with them because you understand them as the human part, the human being, the person who's striving. That's how people say yes. And so the modality might, or however you're working with people, whatever transformation pathway you're supporting them with, that's going to come into play, but it's not the first level. The first level is this human connection. And so again, what do they need to know? And what do they need to know to feel, for example, less anxiety? What do they need to know that will support them in confidently having clarity in their next steps? Or do they need to feel the vision that what they're dreaming about actually is possible? This is how people connect with what you do. So pop in the chat how this is landing with you. I really want to hear it. Maybe you're already putting this into practice. Maybe this is something brand new. I know that it took me a while to learn this and really understand it. Now, here's the next part that's really important around this. And I know it's going to sound a little bit confusing, but here's what it is. I want you to think about the fact and open up to the idea that these people are connecting not with your modality, they're connecting with you. That needs a pause there. They're connecting with you. So you are the bridge between where they are and where they want to be, you are the bridge. And what you are as the bridge is somebody who has a modality that could help them. You have a process that can support them. You have information that maybe is in books or tapes or things like that. What you have can help them walk across the bridge from where they are to where they dream about being. You are the catalyst of it. Because most of your clients, and especially your ongoing clients, will connect with you because of you. And they will continue to work with you because of you. Not just your modality, not just your process, not just your teachings, because they know and trust you. They're seeking you in all your wonderful, yummy qualities that you have cultivated, and it's a match for them. Whether it's a match for 6 months, 6 years, a lifetime, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, because people come in and work with us for however long they do. They're not necessarily going to be there forever. I have clients I've seen once and never again. I have clients who I've been seeing regularly, many times a year for years. So it's all a vibrational match. But again, we're not concerned about that as much today, is that this really key energy that you are more important than your modality, your heart, your compassion, your vision, your understanding, your intuitive capacities. All of those qualities that you have, that you're wanting to share with the world, that's why they're there. The how of what you do is secondary to this. So if this is activating you at all, just take a breath in, really breathe in, feel the expansion in your body, releasing it out, allow yourself to grow with this idea. I know that this idea can really create initially, especially if you haven't heard this much, or if it's anchoring more deeply, I know it can feel a little vulnerable or even apprehensive. I get it. You might also feel that like, but wait, my modality, how I work with people, how I've been trained, I've spent so much time and energy and money that it really can help everyone. I don't want to really think about one type of person with one type of problem. How many of you felt that way? Like, don't ask me to think about how to talk about a person with anxiety, or how to talk to a couple who are about to birth their first baby. I don't want to be that pigeonholed. I don't want to be that small. It's okay. You can work with lots of different types of people. It's not that, but you want to know what they're feeling. So you want to know that you can help guide them through that. Okay. So what this does is open up this idea, at least initially, or maybe you're expanding to the next level of your practice. I want you to consider, who do you love to work with? Now, if you don't have an active practice yet, you could say, well, I just learned and I don't know who I want to work with. Okay, just imagine, well, I might want to work with teenagers who are about to go off to college and feel that sense of independence. That's okay. That might be who you always work with. It might be who you start with, and then there are parts you like and parts you don't like, and then you change. This is not about setting anything in cement. It's like, who do you want to work with? What might be those issues of a teenager who's about to go off to college? Being away from home, taking care of themselves, managing their time, not being accountable. I mean, we could go on easily on that list, right? So the idea is it the type of person, which would be the example that I'm talking about. Or you might say, I want to work with single moms. So that's a type of person. Or you might really desire to work with people who are having similar experiences in their life. An example of this would be people who are at a crossroads professionally in their life. And they're not, because they're at the crossroads, they're standing there and they're not sure which direction to take. And so they just sit feeling stuck, self-sabotaging, blocked, all those things. So you might be somebody, doesn't matter who they are, what their profession is, if they're at a professional crossroads, you want to support them to feel confident in choosing that new direction and setting off on their path again. So that's more the type of person that is having a similar experience versus single moms, for example. So open up and think about this. And as you do, begin to think, what do those people need? What are they feeling insecure about? What are they worried about? What would help them with that confidence or clarity that you do, right? I love to ask myself this question, is what keeps them up at night? Now, some people may never have disturbed sleep, but we all can relate to the idea that you have something on your mind, and it's on your mind so significantly. It also means it's in your energy field, and you can't relax to get into that deep, rejuvenating sleep at night. What's going on with them? What's the potential that's possible also for those particular types of people in working with you and what you have to offer? So ask yourself that. What's possible with what I offer for those particular people with those particular concerns? I can address them head on. Of course, you can have that personal connection with them and hear their special recipe, but we're talking about the ways you can get out there and start connecting with people. You can get into the subtleties and the nuances for every single person as you really are connected with them. But they need to be able to know that you can help them with that specific thing, not just generic application, but like, oh, they understand that. They have a way to work with my thing, whatever my thing is. So let me know in the chat how you're feeling. What's going on with you on this? And as always, the ongoing conversation, if you have questions, if you want to share what's coming up for you, what activated you or what made you feel really excited, jump into our private community in Facebook called Conscious Conversations with Your Business. If you're on YouTube watching this, feel free to comment below the video. If you're here on Zoom, comment. And, in the chat here while we're here live. And so Paul's going to put the link up in the chat right now for the Facebook group. And Paul, you can let me know if you have that or not, because I have it right here. Do you need me to put it up, Paul, or you got it?
I got it. I'll be happy in just a sec.
Okay, thanks. And I'd love to hear what was helpful, meaningful, or supportive of you in feeling confident to take your next steps. And feel free, please, to share these Wellspring messages with other people. Lightworkers, it's time for us to thrive, be willing to be abundantly out there and receive clients abundantly so they can move forward in a brand new way in their life with the confidence, the clarity, that sense of alignment, and that you also receive abundantly in terms of money and all that you desire. You deserve all that. It's called equal exchange for your energy out to receive energy in. So thank you so much for being here. I love you all. And we'll continue this conversation in an ongoing way in the Facebook group. Take care, everyone. See you next week.